Well, hey there, early childhood operators. Welcome to the Early Childhood Business Made Easy podcast. I'm Kelly Peak, your host. And as you know, I love to help you find more of that time, freedom, and profit. Now, I get it. You are probably exhausted. You are pouring everything into your families. You stay late to answer parent texts. Your team goes above and beyond every single day. Parents tell you constantly how much they love your preschool or maybe play cafe or enrichment program. But when you raise tuition or the pricing, maybe crickets. When you ask for referrals, do you hear silence? And when a competitor opens down the street offering basically the same thing at a lower price, have your family started suddenly just looking? Well, I'm guessing you are left wondering, if they love us so much, why aren't they acting like it? And here's what's actually happening. And this is something I have learned the hard way, believe me, in my over 30 years of operating early childhood businesses. You are probably delivering good service, maybe even great service. But great service today, that has become the baseline expectation. It's no longer a differentiator. It's just what parents expect from any legitimate program. Now, you've heard before that you need to improve your customer service, send more updates, be more responsive, add more touch points. But here's what others don't understand about early childhood businesses. Parents aren't just buying care and education. They are making a massive trust decision with the most precious thing in their lives. And in that context, simply being good at your job, well, that isn't enough to create fierce loyalty or justify premium pricing. Here's what I've discovered. The programs that build wait lists and charge what they're worth, they aren't necessarily providing better curriculum. They don't have more fancier parties or have better facilities. They're creating experiences families can't stop talking about. And they're monetizing happiness by designing magic moments at touch points that matter most. They're turning everyday interactions into memories that get shared with every friend who will listen. Now, today I'm going to break down the 3 strategies for creating these magic moments. Number 1, identify your emotional touch points. These are the 8 to 10 moments in your family's journey where parents feel the strongest emotions. Number 2, design intentional experiences. These are small strategic ways to surprise, delight, and support with little cost, but it creates massive impact. And number 3, systematize for consistency. So making magic automatic so it happens for every family, not just when someone remembers. Now, great service, again, it's no longer enough to build a thriving early childhood business. Magic moments aren't about being perfect or spending big budgets. They're about being intentional at the moments that matter most. When you systematically create experiences families can't help but share, you don't just build loyalty, you create premium pricing power and word of mouth marketing. And that, my friend, money cannot buy. Now, let me show you exactly what I mean with a real moment from Peak Academy. It's a Tuesday afternoon. There's a mom and she's picking up her daughter and she mentions offhandedly, Emma's birthday is next week and I was going to bring cupcakes, but I'm completely overwhelmed with work right now. My teacher, she says as she smiles, don't worry about it. We've got it covered. The next week, we didn't just have cupcakes. We created a whole experience. Handmade crowns, special song at circle time, a photo book with her whole class, handwritten note card from the teachers highlighting Emma's growth that year. And when the mom picked Emma up, she burst into tears. I can't believe you did all of this, she said. I feel like such a bad mom for being too busy to plan her party, and you made her feel so special. Because not only did we do all of those things, we also captured it on video so she would have it to look back on for years to come. Now, 2 weeks later, 3 of her friends toured our program. Within a month, we enrolled 2 of them at our premium full-time rate. No price objection, no negotiation, just we want to have what Emma has. That one moment, which cost us maybe $15 in supplies and an hour of our teacher's time, well, that generated over $24,000 in annual tuition revenue. But here's the thing. That moment, it happened by accident. One thoughtful teacher in one specific incident. What if we made it systematic? What if every family experienced moments like that throughout their entire journey with us? And here's the costly part. Before we systematize this, which is how it used to be when we were running just on memory. We were losing families to competitors who weren't necessarily better. They were just more intentional about creating these memorable experiences, or maybe their tuition was lower and the parents just didn't realize. After we implemented our Magic Moment system at Peak Academy, our retention rate jumped. Parent referrals became our primary source of new enrollment, cutting our marketing costs by more than half. When we raised tuition by 15%, not a single family left. Several even thanked us for continuing to invest in making their experience so special. Now, this is not just anecdotal. Research from the Harvard Business Review shows that customers who have an emotional connection with a brand have a 306%, that's right, 306% higher lifetime value. But here's what makes this critical for early childhood businesses. Unlike retail or maybe restaurants where you can recover from service gaps, in our industry, when you're talking about ratio driven, licensing dependent, one missed moment during a transition or a challenge, well, that can permanently damage that parent's trust. CEOs who understand this don't treat exceptional experiences as nice to haves, they treat them as a retention strategy. Now, let me tell you another example from one of our CEOs who operates a 60-child preschool. Last year, she was feeling stuck. Families loved her program, but she had zero on her wait list, and she couldn't really justify raising her rates. When we started working together, I helped her map out her family journey, and we identified just 5 emotional touch points where she could create those magic moments. She started with first day photos and custom bookmarks, a monthly we notice note celebrating each child, and a simple stress reliever coffee card system for overwhelmed parents. Now, within 6 months, her referral rate, it doubled. She went from begging for reviews to having parents post about her program unprompted. And when she raised her tuition by 12% the following year, she lost 0 families and actually added a wait list for the first time ever. Now, this shift wasn't in her curriculum or in her facilities. It was in becoming intentional about creating shareable experience moments that mattered most. She went from providing good service to creating magic that parents couldn't help but tell their friends about. This is all where we're going to dive in today, and it starts with strategy number 1. I want you to identify your emotional touch points. These are the 8 to 10 moments that matter most. Here's the problem. Most early childhood operators, if you're a director or a manager and not a CEO yet, you try to make every moment special. You're burning out trying to wow families every single day, and it's exhausting and honestly unsustainable. That is manager thinking, trying to do everything perfectly all the time. CEOs, confident early childhood operators, well, they approach this strategically. They identify the specific moments in the family journey where parents are already feeling strong emotions. Now, this could be joy, anxiety, pride, overwhelm. And then they design intentional experiences around those high impact touch points. And remember, quality over quantity, strategy over scattered effort. There are typically 8 categories of emotional touch points in every early childhood business. Number 1, your new family process. Now, this is everything from the first inquiry to the first month. Number 2, child firsts. Think first day, first friend, first tooth, first milestones. Number 3, birthdays. That's an easy one. Number 4, life events. So maybe the family had a new baby, a job change, maybe some family challenges have come up. Number 5, stress relievers. Now, these are those mornings when a parent is clearly struggling. Number 6, holidays, special events. Number 7, transitions. So this is when you move classrooms, maybe graduating, maybe dropping off the child for the first time. Number 8, problem resolution. Now, this is how you handle challenges. That one's a little more broad and not as easy, but sometimes there are big problems that you resolve, and it's really important to the family, and that becomes a special touch point moment. Now, here's where generic business advice fails. Most customer service training tells you to be consistent across all touch points, but in early childhood, that creates bland mediocrity. The families who rave about you and refer others, they're not remembering your general reliability. They're remembering specific moments when you made them feel truly seen and cared for. So here's how you identify which moments to focus on. These are your 2 action steps. Action step number 1, you're going to brain dump every touch point in your family journey. Now, don't overthink this. Just list everything from the first inquiry to graduation. It takes about 20 minutes with pen and paper. And for a small program with 30 kiddos, you might identify 15 to 20 touch points. And for a larger center or play cafe that you have lots of classrooms or lots of events, you might have 30 to 40. Then, and this is critical, you're going to narrow it down to your top 8 to 10 based on emotional intensity and frequency. So ask yourself, where do parents feel the strongest emotions, positive or negative? Where are they the most anxious, most proud, most overwhelmed, most joyful? And which are the ones that happen more often and frequently so you can make sure to touch more parents? Now, those are your magic moment opportunities. Now, if you're not sure which moments matter most, just ask. You can send a simple survey. What moments or experiences with us have been the most meaningful? Their answers are going to tell you exactly where to focus. Action step number 2, I want you to validate your list with your team. Now, you're going to gather your team, your lead team members, and you're going to ask them, when do parents get emotional? When do they get involved? When do they seem most stressed? When do they light up? Your team will see things that you miss because they're in the trenches every day. And again, if you are living a true time freedom lifestyle, you shouldn't be there every day. Now, this might take about 15 minutes, but it will create so many moments that you didn't even realize were high impact. So, for example, at Play Boutique, our Play Cafe, our team identified that parents booking birthday parties were anxious about logistics, something that I kind of completely missed. And that insight led to one of our highest ROI magic moment systems. Now, the key here is to be selective. You're not creating magic everywhere. You're identifying the 8 to 10 moments where intentional magic will have the biggest impact. Think referrals, retention, premium pricing. This is how you're going to move from scattered acts of kindness to a strategic kindness system. Okay, strategy number 2, I want you to design intentional experiences that surprise, delight, and support. So now, once you know which moments matter most, here is often the problem. Most directors and managers, well, they think creating memorable experiences requires elaborate productions and big budgets. So they either overspend trying to impress everyone or they give up because it just feels impossible. CEOs, well, they understand that magic moments aren't about expense. They're about intentionality, personalization, and making families feel seen. The most powerful experiences often cost less than $10. Sometimes they cost nothing except thoughtfulness. This connects directly to the key services and sales profit booster in our Preschool Business Blueprint course. So if you are part of our Shine mentorship, you can find all the information there. When you design magic moments around your most profitable services, what we call in Shine your sweet spot offers, you create a multiplier effect. Families develop emotional connections that make them more likely to enroll in additional services, refer others, and stay longer. And that's how you monetize happiness strategically. Now, here's how you're going to design these experiences. Action step number 1, you're going to pick one high emotion touch point and ask 3 questions. How can we surprise them? How can we make it personal? And how can we make it shareable? Now, the sweet spot is where all 3 of those overlap. And let me show you exactly what this looks like with a real example from our programs. So for first days, we assign one team member to capture photos, maybe a short video clip throughout the child's day. At pickup, parents go home with a custom bookmark or piece of art or framed photo, whatever works best for you, and it features their child's photo and handwritten note. Today, Emma played with blocks, made a new friend named Lily, and smiled during circle time. She is going to love it here. Now, the frame or the bookmark, whichever you choose, we get those at Michael's for $1. The impact, parents post these on social media constantly, driving tour requests, which is amazing. It's surprising. They didn't expect the documentation. It's personal, specific to their child's day, and it's shareable. They cannot help but post about it, especially when it's their kiddo and it's a cute picture. Now, for birthdays, instead of just singing in class, we record a 30-second video of the whole class saying happy birthday and sharing what they love about the birthday child. We text it to the parents that morning. The cost, $0. The time, 5 to 15 minutes, depending how big your class is. And the impact, well, your parents, you can imagine our parents are crying with happy tears and they're sharing it with their extended family. We've had grandparents call us to say thank you. Now, for stress relief, we keep a basket at the front desk with $5 coffee gift cards. And when a parent is clearly having a rough morning, maybe they're late, they're stressed or overwhelmed, We hand them a card and we say, go get yourself a coffee. We've got this today. The cost, $5. The impact, parents remember that moment for years. One mom told me that that single gesture made her cry in her car, and it convinced her we truly saw her as a person, not just a tuition payment. Now, I know, I get it. You're saying, okay, that can add up. Then set a limit. Only allow 1, 2, 4, depending on your budget. Only allow so many to go out a month. And again, that allows your team to really think about who they're giving those to, not just because they want to make sure it's gone to the right person, but because, again, they want to be mindful about your business as well as who they're supporting. Action step number 2, I want you to create a simple implementation plan for that one magic moment. So write it down specifically. What does it look like? Who's responsible? When does it happen? What supplies do you need? Where are you going to store those supplies? So for example, if you're doing the first day photo book or bookmark, your plan might be the lead teacher captures three photos during the day. Your director, or if you have an assistant director, someone to coordinate the printing of the bookmark or of the photos to put on the bookmark or in the frame during the afternoon nap time. And again, you can just use a template, a color printer, super easy. The bookmark goes home in the child's cubby at pickup, or you can assign and make sure the teacher personally hands it to the parent. Now, the supplies that are needed, the frame or the bookmark, cardstock you might need, and color ink. Supplies that you have where you're going to store them. Maybe everything's at the front desk drawer. Maybe there's a specific storage area that you can have for these specific supplies. Wherever it is, just make sure whoever's responsible knows where everything is and knows it's their job on every child's first day. They're going to make sure this happens. Now, the simpler your system, the more likely it's going to actually happen consistently. So don't create 47 steps. Create 3 clear, simple steps anyone on your team can execute. And this is exactly what we teach in Module 4 of the Preschool Business Blueprint. How to layer your magic moments onto your sweet spot services to create experiences that justify premium pricing. You can also download our free resource for this week's podcast episode, and that is your customer service golden rules. It's going to be at kellypeak.com, where you're going to find information about episode number 171. You can use these as you're building your magical moments. Now, strategy number 3 is systematizing for consistency. And this is where you're going to make magic automatic. Here's what most managers and directors, here's where they drop the ball. They get inspired, they create a few magic moments, and things go well. Then, if you can imagine, life gets busy, and those special touch points, well, they start falling through the cracks. And 6 months later, they're back to basic service because there's no system ensuring the magic moments actually happen consistently. Now, CEOs understand that occasional magic, well, that's nice, but consistent magic, that can be your brand. It's what people tell their friends. It's why families stay and pay premium pricing. So they systematize, not to make things robotic, but to make excellence automatic. Your team is already stretched with ratio requirements, transitions, meals, emergencies. If magic moments are extra work on top of everything else, they're probably not going to happen. You have to build them into existing workflows so they feel like part of how you operate, not an additional task. So here's how you systematize. Action step number 1, create a magic moments calendar. A simple spreadsheet that lists every magic moment you've committed to, who's responsible for it, and when it should happen. For example, the first day photo frame, that's your front desk. Day 1 of enrollment. Monthly we noticed notes, maybe that's your lead team members, the last Friday of each month. A birthday video, maybe that's a classroom teacher or a assistant. And birthday child's actual birthday. Now, you would have them in their own classroom. They're going to have a list of all their kiddos and their birthdays. Now, this isn't about being rigid. It's about making sure nothing gets missed. This takes maybe 30 minutes to set up initially, and you'll probably update it as you go and add new magic moments to your system. But again, as I always say, a little time now is going to pay off in big investment down the road. Now, then you're going to build it into your role descriptions and your training. So remember, magic moments aren't extra if they're literally part of someone's job. So when we hire a new team member, they learn the magic moments that they are responsible for beginning on day 1. It's in their job description. It's in their training checklist. It's how we operate. So for a small program, this might just mean adding 2 bullet points to your team member handbook. For a large program, you might create a dedicated magic moments section in an employee manual. Either way, you're making clear this is part of our culture. It's not an optional nice to have. Action step number 2, you're going to batch or possible to remove the friction. So some magic moments require real-time personalization, like the stress reliever coffee cards. You can't really batch those, but others can be prepped in advance to make execution easier and faster. So for instance, we have those pre-printed cards for each child's birthday. We have them printed. They are filled out at the beginning of the school year, and then each classroom gets a manila envelope with the cards for each child in their classroom, and their birthday card is already filled out. So all the teachers have to do is add something personal at that time in the moment, and then we deliver them. We keep a supply of "we've got you" coffee cards at the front desk so anyone can grab them when they see a parent who needs it. And we have pre-made templates that go on the back of our photo frames when a child has a first day. The goal is making it easy for your team to create magic consistently without adding a huge burden. Now, track your magic moments and celebrate them in your team meetings. This is kind of a little insider tip. We keep a simple log of magical moments, and then we don't want to micromanage that, but we do celebrate. And since we don't do meetings every month, we might share those in our biannual team meetings or in a simple text that we send out. When we see a team member go above and beyond to create a special experience, we recognize it and we want to do it publicly. This reinforces that magic moments aren't just policy, they are part of our culture. They're what makes us who we are. Now, this is the piece that transforms scattered kindness into reliable profit. When families experience those moments consistently throughout their journey with you, they develop loyalty that price shopping competitors just can't break. So let's bring this all together. Today, we've moved from providing good service that families appreciate to creating magic moments they can't help but share. When you identify your top 8 to 10 emotional touch points, design intentional experiences that surprise and delight, and systematize those moments so they happen consistently, you're not just improving your customer service, you are fundamentally shifting from operator mode as a director or a manager into CEO leadership. This is how you build a business that commands premium pricing and generates the word of mouth marketing that advertising, well, it just can't buy. It's time now for our manifestation minute. So again, if you're where you can, close your eyes, get quiet and intentional. If you can't, just get intentional. I want you to imagine this. 3 months from now, you're at the playground on a Saturday morning and a parent you've never met walks up to you and says, "Are you the owner of your program? And my friend, she raves about you constantly. We've been on your wait list for 6 months and I'm so excited to finally get a spot." That's not because you got better at what you do. It's because you became intentional about creating experiences families want to tell everyone about. And that's what magic moments do. They turn satisfied families into your most powerful marketing team. Now, here's what I want you to do next. First, I want you to spend 30 minutes this week identifying your top 5 emotional touch points. That's it. Just identify them. Next, grab those customer service golden rules, that resource you'll find at kellypeak.com, episode number 171. Use it when you're thinking about the magic moments you want to create for your families. Use this and that framework that I outlined in today's episode so that you can adapt it and start making some magic moments beginning this week. Now, if you're currently in our Shine mentorship program and want the complete system for monetizing happiness, including the Shine Profit Maximizer that shows you which services to layer those magic moments onto, the Sweet Spot Service Framework for premium pricing, the complete implementation and playbook with those done-for-you templates, that's in Module 4. So that's in Module 4 of the Preschool Business Blueprint. That will walk you through each step. And if you're ready for hands-on support as you build this system specifically for your program, CEO Coaching Week starts this week. We're doing live implementation sessions where I'm going to help you design some of these magic moments, and your team is going to be able to deliver consistently. You can find that at kellypeak.com. Find the information about our CEO Coaching Week. Now, here's what I want you to remember. You care for other people's most prized possessions in life, their children. And that's not just a responsibility. It's an opportunity to create memories families will treasure for a lifetime. When you view your work through the lens of providing magic moments you create every day, you realize there's nobility in what you do. You're not just providing care and education, you're cultivating opportunities for cherished memories. I always tell my team, we are protecting our family's future memories. Remember, they are going through life right now, busy and chaotic. So in 10 years, when they look back on this time, we want those memories to be fond and meaningful. And we want them to think about us in a way that says, I'm so glad they did that. I was just so busy. I didn't have time. Thank goodness they did that for me. And when you do that intentionally, strategically, consistently, you're going to build a business families will never want to leave and can't wait to tell their friends about. And as we're into our 20th year, we to this day still have kiddos who come back and share their memories with us. So I want that for you too. So now go out there, my friend, go create some magic. Take care, and I'll see you next week.